We used to have a president, and he always used the term fake news. And there is some fake news out there. There's a lot of people now, bloggers, anonymous stuff. You don't know who's writing what. New York Times, Washington Post, Chicago Tribune, ABC, NBC, CBS. Even many of you think they have agendas, right? Now we have a cable world where this one is right-wing stuff, this one is left-wing stuff. CNN was this, now they're that. Yeah, I understand it. Political stuff has agendas, but there are legitimate news organizations. But I do see stuff in the media where I understand why you, the consumer, get worn out. And that this is not a big deal, but you should try to ask questions that you don't know the answer to. And I saw this headline this morning. USC quarterback Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams says he's not decided whether to enter the 2024 NFL draft. Yeah, he has. It's over, and every fan knows it. He's going to be a top 5 pick, probably number 1. Overwhelmingly number 1 if he doesn't get hurt. There's no story. When it comes to young athletes or young people or victims, you tread more lightly. The season hasn't started. No reporter should be employed if he's still struggling with the idea of what Caleb Williams is going to do after this year. You shouldn't be employed. It's not difficult. Who drafts him? We don't know. That's worth a discussion. Arizona, Raiders, Texans. That's fascinating. That he's going to leave after this year, it's done. It's over. Don't be naive. It's over. Well, Colin, the NIL is irrelevant. USC probably works deals to pay him $3 to $4 million a year. He's going to sign a contract as the number 1 pick for whatever number 1 picks get. He's leaving. It's over. I told you 2 years before Andrew Luck got drafted, he's going to be number 1. I told you 2 years before Trevor Lawrence got drafted when he played in the national title game against Alabama, that's your number 1 pick. I'm telling you a year in advance, and you know it. He's the number 1 pick if he's healthy. Drake May's probably 2. Maybe Harrison, the receiver from Ohio State. A lot of good players this year. Great draft. Great draft last year, a bad draft. But come on, media, do better. We know he's leaving college. There's no debate. This is like college football writers who write about who's going to win the Heisman in week 3. Is that what really fans are talking about? They want to know who's going to win the games. You're not even in the conference play yet. Caleb Williams is leaving college after this year. Why do a gotcha? Why find a quote you can use? He said what he has to say. I haven't thought about that. All I care about is this season. The fact that he had to answer a question, or it's a discussion, or it's a headline, that's why people turn on the media. They don't care if we make mistakes. Listen, when a surgeon makes a mistake, a trapeze artist makes a mistake, a pilot makes a mistake, it's punitive. People can die. We all make mistakes in our life. This is not the end of the world. But there's a reason why trust in the media has plummeted. And it's not on mistakes, it's on agendas. It's doing stuff just for primarily gotcha. This feels like a gotcha. Caleb Williams not decided what. It's over. It's all over. He's going number 1 if he's healthy. If he gets banged up, maybe somebody pauses and he goes 2, 3, or 4. But it's not a story. Not to anybody who's being honest. All right. So I saw this. A memo to sports headline writers over America. We know you're looking for clicks, but I saw this one this morning. Look at the Eagles, Dolphins, Cowboys got a haul because of how badly the 49ers whiffed on the Trey Lance deal. You guys all realize the next draft they found their franchise quarterback, and they landed in the same space. A cheap, talented quarterback who they don't have to pay big boy money to for 3 to 4 years. Finding a quarterback in the 7th round, last pick, that's unprecedented. That's almost impossible. Whiffing on a first-round pick happens all the time. Getting aggressive, moving up for a quarterback that doesn't work, that happens all the time. How you get a franchise quarterback is not that relevant. That you get a franchise quarterback is really relevant, or the coach and GM lose their jobs. Pete Carroll's a legend. Before he landed Russell Wilson, they gave Matt Flynn a 3-year deal with a chance to make $26 million. He threw 9 passes. They traded a second-round pick for Charlie Whitehurst. He never played. Then they landed Russell Wilson. Matt Flynn and Charlie Whitehurst disappear into the ether. They found their franchise quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo, older quarterback, couldn't stay healthy. So the Niners rolled the dice, traded up to get a young, sturdy, athletic, coachable, smart kid. Didn't work. But also, it should be noted, the following year, last pick in the draft, they found it. Doesn't matter that Pete Carroll traded a second-round pick for Charlie Whitehurst, or they were going to pay Matt Flynn up to $26 million. How in life has 1,000 paths? That doesn't care which one you take. Denver Nuggets. Did you know they drafted Rudy Gobert with a first-round pick 10 years ago? Moved off it in about an hour. The next year, they got Jokic in the second round. They got their center. Nobody cares. How and that are two different things. NFL's a bottom-line business. The Niners got Joe Montana in the third round, Kaepernick in the second, Brock Purdy in the seventh, Jimmy Garoppolo in a trade, Steve Young in a trade. Well, most of those guys got them to a Super Bowl. How? Who cares? That important. I mean, go look at the Jets. If they fly out to Malibu, they're desperate. They got Aaron Rodgers. How? They hired Nathaniel Hackett. They told him they'd get him Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, whatever. They've got Aaron Rodgers. How they got him, who cares? That they got him is everything. Go look at Jared Goff. The Rams give up a haul to move up to get Jared Goff. A haul. Looks like a bust. Fire a coach, get a new offensive coach with no head coaching experience. Goff gets good, goes to a Super Bowl. They pay him a fortune. But a year and a half later, they get tired of him. Then they give up a bunch of picks to get Matt Stafford and win a ring. Nobody cares. Sean McVay's ring never falls off. They got the ring. Rams are even bad now. Doesn't matter. Got the ring. Kyle Shanahan doesn't have one. Everybody worries about the how. Don't. How you end up happy in life is irrelevant. That you end up happy in life is everything. J-Mac is, Ryan is, I am. Different paths. The Niners have their franchise quarterback, and they don't have to pay him for 3 years. Nobody cares how Pete Carroll found his. Brady was in the 6th. Dak was in the 4th. Tony Romo and Kurt Warner were undrafted. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Everybody gets caught up in the how. That. Headline writers. The headline is, Niners have their franchise quarterback and will pay him a nickel for the next 3 years. His name is Brock Purdy. It all evens out. They even have a good backup, Sam Darnold, who could start for teams. They're fine. The Trey Lance thing happens about half the time. You either draft a guy in the first round, you move up for a guy in the first round, a quarterback. It's the hardest position to evaluate. Doesn't work out. Doesn't mean he's a bad kid. Doesn't mean he can't play. Just not in San Francisco. It's fine. They got him. His name is Brock Purdy.